loving them. You're not interesting to talk to anymore. Goodbye. But that real love, that love that sometimes is difficult, difficult to have. That's that love. That love.
Hey, hello, what up? Don't apologize for that. Um, what do you mean exactly? I wonder. Like, how did it affect you? If you don't mind sharing. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough topic. It's hard for me to say it was ever about human rights, considering what was going on. I mean, it sure tried to seem that way, but I don't think it's ever about the president, you know? No matter who's in the office, it's always been kinda about money. It's the same with the world, but USA is kind of like the center of that, unfortunately. Like, who cares about rights if like people can't afford to buy a home? Some people live on the street despite having like 2 jobs, can't afford food, and die from drugs constantly. Like, I think that's way more important than rights. 400. I mean, I saw like the first day, but like, yeah. It's kind of insane to me how much of a show it is, like in the USA with like elections and stuff. Cause like here in Russia, it's it's kind of always the same, which is like I kind of I start to appreciate it more. Like, you kind of always get the same shit usually, and elections like don't change much. But there it's like people always get their hopes up that every 4 years something might change, and it just gets worse and worse. I don't know, I don't think it really depends on who's in the office. Like, we know that like who really rules the world is not really the president. But yeah, still interesting how it all gonna turn out. Oh, it was? Interesting. Well, that's what makes it interesting. We have to have some drama and stuff. Otherwise, what's the point? How would we appreciate everything when it finally becomes good? If it wasn't bad, and if we weren't sure if like we will even survive this. That's what makes it fun. Because in the worst case we'll all just die, and that's not that scary actually, if you think about it. Oh, the USA will survive, believe me. It's the center of the world. We kinda decided that, for better or worse. If USA doesn't survive, like, the whole world will be thrown into chaos. It's just a matter of how it will survive, what like will change, if anything. But it's kind of like the same with Russia, but kind of in a different way. Like there is no world where there is no Russia or there is no USA, just because it's like a center of power, and if it doesn't survive, there is a vacuum that needs to be filled. And it just might be an entity with different name, but basically the same shit, because it will be the same people for the most part. So it's not really a matter of surviving. It's like in physics, energy can't be destroyed. It can only transform into another form. You wanna leave the USA? Oh, if it drops out of NATO, it would be really interesting, because it's like it's the hugest military power. Where would you wanna live, I wonder? And have you ever visited other countries? Have you tried to live somewhere for a long period of time? Because I know for like Americans, they usually never really leave their country, and that's interesting. Like, where are you coming from? Because before I really traveled the world, I really wanted to leave Russia. Like, it was kind of like obvious to me that it's not a place to live. And now I'm completely opposite. Like, I can't imagine really living anywhere else. Like, when I have more money, I would like travel, maybe like spend half a year in Asia or something. But it started to feel like home a lot. Yeah, I thought so. Cause like, I mean, I don't know about USA. I mean, I've been there a while ago, actually, like 12 years ago. But it's like surprisingly, you never really realize what is good about your home country until you try to live somewhere else. Because you really don't have a point of reference, and all you can consider is what you don't like right now. And you might find places where that thing is not really a thing, but you will not find things that are worse there, that are actually good about your country. But I really can't speak for USA, because like I know a lot of bad things there that aren't like this here. Mostly that everything is expensive, but like the biggest thing I like about my country is like people, because like you can't really say that about USA, because that's really a mix of different like people of different nationalities, and it's not about like, it's more about the background that you've grown up with. I mean, That's not really dependent on nationality, but like the what's the word? Shit, I forgot the word. Like it's easier to find common ground with people that grew up with like the same environment and also have the same roots. And so yeah, I basically have all the people that are the same like me here. But if you move to other country, like people become a bit more alien, and this is surprisingly matters a lot. But yeah, in USA it's kind of different because people do have like people may have the same background growing up in the same country, but having like different roots kind of makes them less common. I feel like this is where a lot of the racism stuff comes from, most of which are like subconscious. So yeah, I don't know. I wonder how would you feel like living somewhere else. Maybe you would like it more. Maybe you should come visit Russia, you know. But it might be harder for you because not a lot of people speak English here. Oh yeah, guns I fucking hate, dude. That's like the cringiest thing ever. I heard somewhere like recently that like what was it, Second Amendment or something? That people like have a right to own a gun and like protect their land or whatever. Like it was made not considering modern weapons, and the fact that some person can just fucking come to some public place and shoot it up, like that's fucking insane. And being like scared for your life is just so alien to me. Like we do have problems here, and some people get really fucked over, like, but usually by the government, not by the people around them. And this is kind of like makes people more kind to each other here, just because we're all kind of get fucked by the government one way or the other, but people never really are scared for their life, is what I'm hearing from USA. Like, that's fucking insane. This is not how we're supposed to live as humanity, like. And the worst part is that it's really hard to take people from that, take that away from people, because like it's all about freedom and whatever. But yeah, that means like every person is free to fucking kill tens of people randomly. And the worst things are in the country, the more that will happen. That's like, yeah, that's like already a good reason to leave, unfortunately. And the prices, like the economy, there is so many weird stuff, like the healthcare, the education, like the most necessary stuff. Like I'm so used to think that like it should be free, and in Russia thankfully it keeps getting better. Like the healthcare and education is getting really good here, and it's fucking free for like the most part. You can get a really good, like I got my education for free, and it was really good, even though I lived like not in the capital. I live just like in a regular city, far from the capital, and we had like a lot of really great people that taught there. So yeah, unfortunately I don't see how this will resolve in the USA, just because, as I said, it's all about money. Oh yeah, the fast food, yeah dude, that's also like the thing about money, right? I recently started to switch into keto diet. I want to stop eating sugar and carbohydrates completely. I've never had like, I was always really thin, like I never could put up weight no matter what I eat, but I kind of want to try to like feel more healthy. But the fact that what is like more than half of popularity is obese, it's insane, dude. And it's really easy to trace the reason. Just because like it was normalized to eat fucking cereal for breakfast. You basically eat carbohydrates in one way or the other the whole day, and all the foods contain more and more sugar throughout the years. You basically like get addicted, get your population addicted to everything, food like, and fucking insane drugs like fentanyl, like, and then everything just goes to shit because the health of a country is the health of its population. And people just get like, I feel like one of the worst things is that people get really divided into two groups that fight each other, and election is just like so designed for that. That's insane. The fact that you get like two candidates that like fight each other. And like I keep remembering this episode of South Park, the super old one, where it was like a shit sandwich against like a giant enema, or what's it called? Like each election feels more and more like this. And the recent one was like, dude, I was certain that Trump would win. Like it was just obvious. Because like, what are you supposed to choose from? How can you have just two candidates? And like the problems in country, like, it's not even about election, but people get so focused on that just so they can blame something. Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of like that with the war here. A lot of people got divided and had a lot of arguments with their families and stuff, but not like in USA, but the fucking elections. Dude, that's fucking crazy. In the school, like, that's crazy. Cause like, dude, if children are dying, it's like, even if they're not dying, like getting traumatized for life after experiencing something like that, that's fucking crazy. Not feeling safe in your world, that's not how it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's why people want to own a gun so much. It's kind of a problem of like chicken and egg. People don't feel safe because of the guns, and people can't feel safe without their guns. And what you gonna do? You can't just take away all the guns. Because if your population is fucking militarized, if you try to take away their guns, guess what they'll fucking do? They'll shoot you the fuck up. So yeah, it's kind of a conundrum. Like, it's a situation that once you get into, you can't really get out of. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like that's the story that people get sold on, just so their government can abuse them. Because just the game gets fucking rigged. Like people are told that it's all in their hands, the American dream and whatever, just so they work their fucking ass off, get just fucking scammed by the education system into an insane debt that they have to pay out their whole life, just like living this trying to realize this fucking quote-unquote dream. And for what? Just to not be able to afford a living, a house, like ever. And this is all just so the rich get richer. Just so the divide becomes bigger, the middle class disappears. Yeah, that's all pretty fucking sad. And I don't think it will become better until it becomes worse, unfortunately. But yeah, man, I hope you get a chance to live somewhere else. At least for some time. It would probably be easier to earn a living, but unfortunately you have to have funds to move first. Albania, huh? Interesting choice. Why there, I wonder? Oh. Oh yeah, I guess that's why she believes that. I mean, do you have like a long distance relationship? How did that happen, I wonder? Yeah, of course. Yeah, but like, was she in USA? Like, have you met? That's interesting. And I wonder how long you've been together. And like, how old are you even? Yeah, long distance is fucking hard, dude. I can't imagine. Oh, I mean, I can. Because I was there, kinda. But we've met like every 1 or 2 months. If it was less frequent, I don't think we would like... It would be impossible. Oh, so you never met? And how long you've been together? So 1.5 years. Yeah, man. I don't know what to say. Oh man, I wish it was that simple. I really fucking wish. And I believed that for like almost my whole life. But it's really, it's a lot more complicated. Especially if you've never met. I mean, I don't want to like discourage you or anything. Whatever lessons you need to learn will be taught to you. But I'm just gonna tell you about one girlfriend I had. We've met actually almost exactly 5 years ago. In like literally the New Year's. And so it was my 6th relationship. And I always believed that like everyone can find their like the one. And she actually was. Like I've never had this much in common with like any person. Like we basically like I don't know, our sense of humor, like we've had so much fucking fun together. I was just sure almost instantly, like I was sure that we were gonna date within like half an hour. And I literally just like told my best friend about it because we were at the same party. But basically, like I don't think you can love each other more than we did. Like just believe me. And I speak from experience because I had like a bunch of relationships before, and they were all great. But like yeah, I just knew that our love was just like the biggest that it can be to each other, and we both knew that. And this was the kind of what was missing in my relationships before. But it still went to shit. Just because like there are always a bunch of factors, and the biggest factor is that you have to be ready for a relationship. And you can't really know that you aren't until like, you know, the universe just shows you through some situation or something that like the right relationship will arrive when you're really ready. And I mean, for some people it's really with the first person they get into a relationship, and like that's great, but usually it's not the case. And yeah, for me, like I realized that having this like really love like from a fairy tale, it's not enough. Like you both have to be ready for this. And I wasn't in my own way, but she wasn't in her way. She was like 6 years younger than me. When we met I was 26 and she was 20. Despite that, we had like a lot in common. And this mostly went to shit because she became more and more afraid that I will dump her, which I had really no intentions to do, but she was just because she never really loved someone that much and she felt safe, but this kind of made her vulnerable, and she started to look for more and more signs that this will happen. This all just happened subconsciously, and I couldn't do anything. I mean, I'm at fault for not expressing as much my feelings maybe, but it was kind of hard for me too, especially when she started to be more distant. It's like so weird, like even when we broke up, we still really loved each other, and we acknowledge that. But this kind of taught me that loving each other is not enough. There is a lot that goes into successful relationship, and yeah, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you will learn a lot. That's how it goes. Yeah, man, that just means that you really never had like, that also means that you still have lessons to learn, because I've also had a streak of relationships not lasting much. I mean, my first one was almost 2 years, but like, you have to realize that there are different stages to a relationship where this like you stop being like in love, or like, what's the English word? Basically, this like intense feeling really disappears, and you get into more like work phase where you're not like obsessed about your partner. You don't feel like those butterflies and stuff. And if you're in a long distance relationship, you never get a chance to feel that before you meet, you know, because you right now you're in a relationship with an idea of a person, just because you haven't experienced her like next to you, and you just have to construct a mental image of how it's gonna be. So yeah, again, I don't want to like discourage you, I'm just sharing experience and what I know, but like, it's a lot more complicated, and you never really understand that until you face those situations that really like dispel your misconceptions. And I've had a lot of misconceptions. I feel like I've got through it all, and the biggest challenge, I guess not a challenge, but like right now it's been like more than 3 years already since my last relationship with the person I just described. We broke up in 2021 in summer, and I've learned that because before I just jumped from one relationship to another, and now kind of being single taught me a lot actually. So yeah, there is I'm sure there is a big lesson for you in this relationship, and it might work out, but it will not be easy, and it will not be the way you expect, that's for sure. Yeah, dude, I hope it works out with you for sure. Just the one thing I would say is that like expect your feelings to change and evolve. That's always the case. Yeah, I used to think I was an introvert too, but it's also a lot more complicated. We're all on a gradient. And some people think they're introverts, but they're just really scared to leave their comfort zone. But yeah, I mean, I'm saying that, but like I spent almost like, I don't know, I haven't met another person for more than 2 weeks actually. And not, I mean, I do go out, like, but I don't like meet my friends right now. I just work, go to the gym, go for a walk, and I feel fine. I feel just fine. But yeah, I was definitely more scared to leave my comfort zone back in the day. And it turns out I really like spending time with people. But like you can't really replace having a person next to you with like phone interactions, just because it's so important to like see them, look them in the eyes. Otherwise we'd get lonely. Like our body feels that we don't have people next to us, people that are really close to us. Like we have to be close to them physically. Otherwise we get fucking depressed. Ooh. Oh, that's really cool. You're an owner of a website. Yeah, man, who doesn't? When you love someone, that's what you're supposed to feel. That's how it is. And I'm happy you feel that way. Oh yeah. Is her English good, I wonder? Do you have any language barriers? Oh, you had to teach her. Oh, C2 is native, to be exact. Dude, I really doubt that. I mean, I've been speaking English for like, I don't know, like 14 years at least, and I'm still like, I really feel how I'm not that proficient compared to Russian. I mean, in Russian I can like express myself a lot more freely. But I don't know, maybe she's just that bad with her native language. But like, it's really, if you speak a language from birth, from when you're a kid, you never really reach that level with a language that you learn as an adult. I mean, I'm sure she speaks really great right now, but it can't really compare to a language she was speaking from when she was a kid. It's just the way our brains learn languages. So I will never be like a native speaker, in a sense how intuitive it is to like find words and stuff. Even though I can understand almost anything, when I speak I sometimes just, it's hard for me to find the exact word, even though I know they're there, they're in my head. I don't have that with Russian for the most part, just because it's like ingrained more in my brain. words in English that aren't in Albanian? I mean, yeah, and vice versa. Yeah, that's how it is with Americans usually. They never leave their country and they never learn other languages. Sometimes Spanish. But I mean, it's kind of the same with Russians. They never learn anything but Russian and they never leave fucking Russia. Yeah, it would be. But you can manage for sure. It would be a humbling experience and it will teach you a lot. That's for sure. Alright, actually, I gotta wrap up. Yeah, I do the same. I really want to learn Japanese, but it's like too hard. I actually my ex-girlfriend was actually teaching Japanese, and she could teach me, but I was just too lazy. But dude, I fucking love watching anime, and I really want to understand it like without translation. And I've even been to Japan with that girlfriend of mine back like 8 years ago. But I just followed her everywhere and she was like speaking and figuring shit out and I was just running along. Well, you can call it laziness. I would call it like you have to have a goal. For me it was easy to learn English just because everything's in English and it's kind of like obvious. But Japanese is more for fun and you have to find like your whys. If you don't have a strong why, like there's a quote, something like anyone who has a strong why can bear anyhow. I think it's a very cool quote. But yeah, like learning Albanian, for example, would be more of a why for you, right? That's a question of your love. Do you really love that person enough to get over your laziness, right? Yeah. I mean, English is a crime, but people still live knowing only Russian, even a lot of my friends. Alright, man. It was nice talking to you. I really hope you feel better about the stuff that's going on around you. And I really wish you meet your GF. Your GF. So yeah. Alright. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm gonna take a break. And I'll be back in a few hours. And I'll continue to work on my stuff. So yeah, MS Gaming, nice talking to you, man. I'll see you later too. Alright, have a good day everyone, or good night to my American friends. Alright, see ya, bye bye. Right, man.